Well, yeah, there, folks. It's Shad and Danny. Week number 2's in the book, Shaddy, and your 2-0 Denver Broncos coming off another very impressive win on the road in the Meadowlands, 41-23, Shaddy.
I tell you what, 40 points for the Broncos is like just cooking popcorn.
Yeah,
that's how easy it is.
Another damn day at the office.
Put it in, pop, 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 40 points, and we go home with the victory.
Oh man, just again a little bit of a slow start. Let's not be complete homers here. A little bit of a slow start. A little not quite in sync, and then you get into the second, obviously third quarters, and the friggin' floodgates open, Shaddy.
Yeah, what is it with those Broncos? They just cannot figure out a way to score in that first quarter. Our receivers in particular.
Right.
I went and did a little homework, Danny, and Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker have combined for one first quarter touchdown since the beginning of last year. That's with Peyton freaking Manning. Yep. So I don't know if the Wizards trying to see what they have, and then he in his mind he figures out the chess game and then goes and attacks them, or I don't know if it's John Fox's touching the organization, being a little conservative early.
It could be the Shad Ring effect, which was the touchy-feely in the first quarter, and then you open up, then you go for broke. So, and going for broke obviously paid off. Defensively, once again, the Von Miller-less defense really showed up. Who are you giving love to this week? For me, it's got to be the D-line. You start there.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely doing a great job. One got pot roast some of the big guys.
Right.
And how about the linebackers? Trevathan coming in, led the Broncos in tackles. You add him and Woodyard together, combined for 17 tackles, a sack. They're all over the field. And then how can you not recognize the defensive backs either, who had 4 INTs, baby?
You know something, and you just hit on something that you and I have been ragging on the Broncos for several years about the total number of INTs that Denver put up here. And here we are, second game of the year, and my gosh.
We had 6 on the already.
Rogers Cromartie, to you, buddy. I mean, what a great addition to this defense. Not everything is happy in Mudville. We just learned here not too long ago that we're going to have an issue at left tackle, Shad.
Yeah, no, I think news coming out started out early in the day. It sounded like maybe a couple games, and as the day went on, went up to he could be out the whole season, which is bad news. But the way this Bronco team's playing, who needs the All-Pros? All right, so you had Doomerville, he's a former All-Pro, he's out. Von Miller, he's out. now you go ahead and throw Clady in that mix, he's out. I mean, it's unbelievable what this Bronco team. And then Champ Bailey's been out, another All-Pro. We don't need All-Pros here. We got a great team.
We would prefer All-Pros.
Yes.
We want this team as a whole, and certainly not as a half. But I think it just goes to show some of the depth that the Broncos put together on this team this year, and the next man philosophy up. We're going to keep our fingers crossed on Mr. Clady, and hopefully it is just a couple of games, maybe 4, 5, 6 at the most. But man, that's a guy you really want protecting the backside of Peyton Manning, especially
Chris Clark is a little sketchy, but that's what we said about Manny early on. And speaking of being critical of people and eating some crow, let's eat a little crow here, Danny.
You know what you folks out there are singing? There's a saying,
and Raheem Moore, two guys have been hard on. Although we have to say, this camp we predicted that Raheem Moore was going to had a great camp, was looking good. Knowshon Moreno, man, looking really, really good. And I think here's the light going off here finally. John Fox has realized that you don't have to run to set up the pass. All right, finally, after all this time with Peyton Manning, he's getting you pass to set up the run. And then Knowshon Moreno around the side, and the Broncos are looking so balanced. And here's what I'm most excited about, Danny. The Broncos, as you said earlier on, right? We struggled with some of the things early on. We're not sharp. We had like 13 penalties for 10,050 yards, and yet we still get 40 points and embarrass the Manning, the other Manning. And by the way, I'm glad the Manning Bowl's over. Do you really think the parents are really that upset that I hate seeing it? It's really cumbersome on the family. Their kids are sitting back making $1 million each. I think they'll get over the loss and go to the bank and put in another $1 million, and it's all right.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, what brother hasn't gotten his butt kicked in something here or there? So we're past that.
He has.
Yeah, for sure. And more exciting, I think, is to see him play the cold slate of this season, a team that kind of gave up on him and said, hey, man, you're too old. We got to go for Andrew Luck. So that's got more interest than the brothers playing.
Yeah, I think so, too. But, and going back to the Knowshon Moreno thing, generally we here at Bronco Planet do not name shows, give it a title. But Shad and I talked about it, and this show is entitled With Apologies to Knowshon Moreno. And a courtesy clap to you, my friend. My gosh, that was... the warm fuzzy just all of a sudden came back over us, and not since the hurdle of Ed Reed last year in the playoffs did that warm, fuzzy feel. Monte Ball had his issues. Ronnie Hillman pretty much non-existent.
Yeah,
so
one carry for 4 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
Yeah, but I think you brought up an excellent point that you actually can have a passing game set up the run, and that's what that's definitely weapon-wise. What are you going to do as a defense?
Yeah,
defensive coordinators they've got to be losing sleep. Seeing the Broncos up on the schedule, which next week is, Shaddy.
Oh, it's Raider week here, and it is so awesome to get fired up about that.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter, no matter how bad. It's almost considered a bye week, as bad as the Raiders have been playing. But yeah, I know. No, I'm not even worried about it. Easy there, Fred. But at the end of the day, now you really did it. So the bottom line is, any game in the NFL, of course, is going to be competitive. But I mean, right now the Denver Broncos have figured out every way to kill you, right? So you get 7 touchdowns the first week. You go into the second week. We're going to get a little Knowshon, 2 touchdowns. Right. Trendon Holiday does what he does best.
Love
and so,
that.
You've got so many. And that's not even, we don't have Dreesen out there. We don't have Tammy really playing. I mean, this team has got so many weapons now, and the defense is really stepping up. Right. At least their run defense gave up 23 yards to the Giants and 56 yards the week before. It's unbelievable how great this team is.
Danny. Something, whenever we get this warm kind of feeling, you know what time it is, Shaddy?
It is. It's got to be prize monkey time, for sure.
Cue the monkey.
Prize monkey, that monkey's funky.
Nobody's funkier, Shaddy, than the prize monkey. And this week we got a couple of great prizes. I'm going to be your Vanna White here. Up for grabs first here.
Well, that's a little bit of a disappointment.
Well, yeah.
I was hoping Vanna would be here. But
a couple of real cool Alfred Williams signed 8x10s here.
Yeah, if you tuned in last week, we said we're going to recognize some of our YouTube followers as well as some with the Bronco Planet. So this started with what we showed everybody last week. We had this great program signed by McCaffrey and Rod Smith. That's going to go to Del Chavez. Del Chavez, and I don't know if that's short for some, but that's your YouTube name. Mm-hmm. You're going to get this program signed by both those fantastic Bronco receivers. Mm-hmm. And then now we're going to go to another.
Now I'm back.
Now, come on, Vanna, get with the program.
Sure.
Matt Turner. Right there on YouTube.
Well done, Matt.
All right, you're going to get a little Alfred Williams, part of the Super Bowl team. We love Big Al. And then one more. Show me the other.
The other one, okay.
You don't get both of them.
Yeah, I'm new at this,
All
folks.
right, Jared Fix is somebody that follows us on Bronco Planet, our Facebook group. Right. So everybody's like Christmas time, as we always do. And so lots of prizes going out. And then Denver Bronco Booster Club. Speaking of that, we had a great time. We all got together.
Oh, man.
We watched the game down at Jackson's. Great food. Alumni, Bucky Dilt. I know.
I'm a Bucky Dilt guy. You know that.
Old punter with the 77, I think it was a year he first started. And so we were down there with him. So-called Lilo Lang. We're down there with Reggie, Frank Robinson, former cornerback for Boise State. So hanging out. So here, let's just show you a little clip of just a few seconds of what we were doing down there.
Cue the monkey. And by monkey, I mean footage. One more little bit of kudos there to the nice folks at Jackson. That was a great night, great win, great people. Oh, my gosh, the place was packed. It's a great place to go each and every week. Watch your Broncos if you're not lucky enough or can afford one of those gigantic ticket prices there for a home game. But once again, quick courtesy clap to you guys. Thanks again for having us, and, of course, we'll be back.
Yeah, and so you see the prizes just flying off. Prize Monkey's got prizes. We're giving away prizes down there, and all you got to do is sign up at the Booster Club.
Simple.
It's very simple. You talk about big dollar tickets, $20 to become a member or $50 if you want to join the parties, and that all goes to charity. Right. Danny gets none. Well, Danny's a bit of a charity, but he's going to get none of this money,
right? Right.
But it's all going to the alumni charities and the quarterback club charities, and we're just trying to give back here in the community. opportunity. So, all right, Dan, I guess wrapping up, we got the Raiders coming in. You know, obviously we didn't like losing Clay. You losing sleep over anything, or you think steamrolling just continues on?
You know, I think it's the responsible thing to do, Shad, is to worry about Clady. You know, because we don't have that big up and comer. You know, you don't have that Jay Solder on the bench that you're just going, okay, now's his time to shine. Yeah. You know, we got a Kevin Clark and a couple of fingers crossed. But I think the one thing with this offense, because it's so fast paced, when's the last time you saw Peyton Manning take a 7-step drop?
Yeah.
Not very often. So I think this may put a little bit more of an urgency for Peyton to get rid of the ball, maybe a little more dinky dunk type of stuff. But he's still going to stretch the field. He's still Peyton Manning. And if I can, you know, on your behalf as well, and because I just love saying this, it's this week's I told you so moment. Julius Thomas once again.
Yep, 3 touchdowns already, looking great. Walker's got a couple touchdowns. I mean, but Julius Thomas is showing it wasn't just a flash in the pan. This guy's the real deal, and just one more of that arsenal of the Broncos offensive. I mean, game plan every week. You can't physically come up with enough players. And how about Eric Decker bounces back, leads all Broncos in receptions? Could have had 3 or 4 more, perhaps. But anyway, Eric's coming along, and so I don't know. I'm excited. I don't think certainly the Raiders playing Denver at home
Monday night even.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big one. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the Raiders. It's Monday night and it's at home. So we'll certainly be a part of that and bring it to you. So until next week,
Shaddy
and Danny. This is Bronco Planet.